24th of March 2003, Day 5 of the American-led invasion of Iraq. A four-ship of F-16s from the 77 Fighter Squadron The Gamblers was on a Sayad mission near Nasiriyah in southern Iraq. The flight leader, Dan Hampton, was an experienced veteran who first saw combat in 1991, flying over northern Iraq in Operation Desert Storm. It was late in the afternoon and the weather was getting worse. Hampton's radio suddenly came alive with an emergency call.
All players. This is Luger on guard frequency for emergency close air support. Any CAS-capable aircraft report to Luger on Indigo 7.
This meant that an American ground unit was in danger of being overrun, and any aircraft capable of providing support was required to try to assist them. The Gamblers' flight wasn't on a CAS mission, but that didn't matter. Hampton's HUD was flashing the word fuel, indicating a low state. He typed a lower number to avoid the distraction and headed for the location of a Marine unit which had gotten cut off north of Nasiriyah. But there was an additional challenge in the form of a huge sandstorm coming towards them. Two other flights of fighters attempted to support the Marines but failed due to low visibility. As Hampton was descending, he noticed how everything seemed covered by brown cloth, and green land east of the Euphrates now looked muddy. The sun was barely visible. Hampton released his number 3 and 4 and only left his wingman orbiting above the target area. The Marine forward air controller, called Chieftain, was showing panic in his voice, but he was able to confirm that no friendlies were on the road. Hampton attempted to locate targets using his AGM-65G infrared Maverick missiles. But they were useless in a situation such as this one. Sand wasn't helping, but with the sun about to set, there was no significant contrast in temperature between the background and potential targets. The image was almost completely washed out. The only other option available was the good old 20mm M61 cannon. This meant getting very close.
Roman. The rags have crossed the road. Stand by.
The politically incorrect term referred to the Iraqi army in this particular case. Hampton descended through 2,000 feet and ground was now visible. There was nothing on the radar warning receiver, which was good, but of course, it didn't cover man-pads and various guns. Coming in from southeast, Hampton first saw the road. Only after several seconds, vehicles started appearing out of the muck, but it was too late to aim. There were many trucks, several armored personnel carriers, and many figures running around. All Hampton could do was to press the mark button to memorize the position. He then turned west to try another pass. At 4 miles away, he pulled up to 2,000 feet and turned to attack from the north. He also told his wingman to ask the AWACS controller to send an airborne tanker as far north as possible. They weren't going to enter Iraqi airspace, but it was worth a shot. Hampton cleared his wingman off, as he was only carrying HARM anti-radiation missiles.
Roman, this is Chieftain. Moving vehicles. Road. Battalion strength.
At 2.7 miles, Hampton dropped to 200 feet, hoping there were no towers or cables to hit. He spotted the road. Finally, he saw about 20 trucks heading south. After firing the gun, the F-16 rolled to the right and passed sideways down the column. Many infantrymen pointed their guns at the American fighter and opened fire. To make things even more interesting, bitching Betty started her bingo fuel warnings. But 2 of the trucks were on fire, and the convoy stopped and scattered. And if you want the best F-16 experience outside of a real F-16, Why don't you try Thrustmaster's Viper TQS mission pack, a 1-to-1 scale replica of Viper's throttle quadrant, officially licensed by the US Air Force. Metal handle casing and various buttons faithfully copy those in the actual airplane. Throttle axis enables very precise engine control, necessary for landing or aerial refueling. There is the afterburner detent, which enables easy max military power setting. When Dan Hampton flew SEAD missions, he always had to be ready to quickly activate his countermeasures. That's why F-16 has the chaff flare slap button, which enables quick action, and Thrustmaster's replica has the exact same button at your disposal. There are also axes for radar elevation and cursor, buttons for dogfight modes, speed brake, autopilot, and many more. The whole product is very heavy, and you can easily use it on your desktop, but it can sometimes move a bit while playing, so fixing is recommended. The buttons and switches feel very solid and are likely to be durable. The only exception is the gear handle, which is a bit flimsy. I've been using it to produce my videos for nearly 6 months, and I have a pretty good experience with this product. If I had to nitpick, the throttle axis had to be recalibrated a couple of times for some reason, but the procedure is easy and quick. All of these products were sent to me free of charge by Thrustmaster in exchange for an honest review. Back to the video.
Chieftain, Roman 75 is off to the south and west, vehicles burning. The column has stopped in place.
Roman, hit M again.
There was not enough fuel for an attack like the first one, but Hampton fixed his eyes on the front of the convoy and made a sharp turn back towards it. There was an APC leading other vehicles. The crew clearly saw the F-16 and opened fire. Hampton leveled his wings and fired from very close range. He now had less than 100 gun rounds left, enough for one last pass at the leading truck. The gun stopped as the F-16 was passing through 50 feet. Looking back over his shoulder, Hampton saw his last target on fire too. Chieftain, Roman 75 is off to the west. Bingo. Winchester and RTB. Hampton was down to 1,700 pounds of fuel left. After some difficulties, he contacted a tanker which did enter Iraqi airspace, and he successfully refueled. He and the rest of his flight landed at Ali Al Salem airbase in Kuwait, the only airbase with visibility marginally good enough for an instrument landing. Hampton's problems didn't end there. His action actually got him grounded by the commander of the Expeditionary Operations Group for flying under 10,000 feet. But that same evening, the word reached the coalition forces air component commander, General Michael Mosley. His Marine counterpart had publicly been criticizing the Air Force for not providing enough close air support to Marine ground troops because the Air Force didn't want their aircraft flying into SAM and anti-aircraft artillery zones. Learning that one Air Force pilot who actually did support the Marines had gotten grounded made Mosley pretty unhappy. To cut a long story short, Hampton's grounding was lifted within hours, and the operations group commander probably got a good chewing. Dan Two Dogs Hampton eventually flew over 150 combat missions and retired from the Air Force at 2006 with the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you for your time and keep watching Showtime 112.